Hey guys, it's Jordan here with a bit of gameplay footage for Castlevania Collection releasing on the Switch today. I'm playing the Japanese version, which, as you may have already noticed, is a little bit different in the fact that it's playing the Japanese versions of all the games, including the beginning menu. If you buy from the American or European eShop, then you'll be playing the Western versions of the game. Normally, not much of an issue, but Castlevania games have had some stark differences between regions, and I wanted to get the Japanese version mainly due to Castlevania 3, which is very different indeed, for the better I think. But fear not, Konami said that they will update the game later on so that if you do buy the American version, you'll be able to access the Japanese versions too, so not a major dilemma as long as you don't mind waiting. So yeah, you'll see me playing through the beginning parts of each game, having a look in the menu, see how things can be customized, specifically the screen resolutions, which has a few nice options. You have the pixel perfect mode for what the developers saw while creating the game. There's also scan lines, plus some other interesting stuff that I'll talk about later when I interrupt the gameplay once in a while. This is Castlevania 1, a classic, a little rough for sure, but it's still a fun game. Castlevania 2, the much misunderstood game. I actually really like this. It plays well aside from an annoying day-night cycle, plus translation that basically requires you to have a guide on standby. Still, worth playing if you have a walkthrough with you. Castlevania 3, the reason I opted for the Japanese version, basically the music is amazing in the Japanese release, plus the difficulty is easier, which considering it's one of the most difficult games ever created, I'll take what I can get. Moving on to Super Castlevania 4, probably the best game in the series. One of the best Super Nintendo games. I don't really need to say much more, it's just a must-play action game. Now onto the more weird couple of games. Castlevania The Adventure is the first Game Boy game in the series and also a terrible game in its own right. I'll talk more about it in my review, but it's just bad. But I'm happy it's here for completion's sake. What's most interesting is that you have a range of colours to play them in. Black and white, the puke green of Game Boy, and the pseudo colour of brown. Nice. Same goes for Belmont's Revenge, the second Castlevania game. Also, a much better game. Castlevania Bloodlines, the one that I was most excited about since this is a Mega Drive game that is surprisingly difficult to get a hold of these days unless you're into emulation, which I can't be bothered with. This is my first time playing it and I like it so far, it feels so fast. Finally, we have Kid Dracula, which is a parody of the Castlevania series, but seems fun enough. It's the Famicom version that never released in the West. You may be more familiar with the Game Boy version, which did make it. But anyways, it seems to play less like Castlevania, but more like a Mega Man or Ghouls and Ghosts game. I hope you look forward to my review. If you want to purchase the game and need some eShop credit, consider using our affiliate links, especially if you want the Japanese versions earlier. Every purchase helps us immensely. I'll see you guys in my review. It shouldn't be too long since I'll mostly be reviewing the package as a whole rather than the games themselves. No need to do that, right? I'll see you later.